Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my May empties as well as my purchases. So I'm going to be going over everything that's gone out of my collection as well as come into my collection. So if that sounds good to you, if you like empty videos, haul videos, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's just get started going over all of these products. All right, so I will have timestamps down below just in case you're only interested in either the empties or the purchases. I'm gonna start with empties only because I don't have a lot. This is probably my lowest empties to date, and I've been doing this since I started my channel. So, you know, just May was an interesting month. I wasn't here most of the time. I was actually traveling, visiting family over in Louisiana where my brother lives. So to be honest, I just used their stuff and didn't use my own stuff. And because of that, I don't have a lot of empties. So I'm gonna quickly breeze over that before we get into the purchases. And I really only have skincare and hair care. For hair care, I have this Living Proof, and this is the shampoo and conditioner. I don't think there's like a line to it. It's just the Living Proof travel size deluxe sample. I liked this. It was okay. It wasn't anything to write home about. I do also have the Pureology. I like this more personally. I would consider repurchasing this line. This is the Hydrate shampoo and conditioner. I've gotten like so many samples of this and it continues to be my favorite. I think that once I get through all of my backups of shampoo and conditioner, this is like top contender for what I'll be purchasing. So that's all my hair care. And then for skincare, also just pretty uneventful. I have a travel size cleanser. This is the Purity One Step Facial Cleanser. It was 1 fluid ounce, so it wasn't, you know, a small amount of product. I think it was like a decent size. You know, I used to love Philosophy when they first came out, back when they were still like on the Home Shopping Network. They weren't really sold in stores before they were sold in Sephora, but I'm a little bit over them now. It's still a nice cleanser. The smell like always brings back memories to those times in my early 20s. But other than that, I really just like this packaging the best for travel, which is why I always pull these out of my like little sample bins when I go traveling. And then I have a full-size moisturizer. This is the Vichy Aqualia Thermal Moisturizer, and I think this is the rich one. No, it's just the normal one. This is the Night Spa Replenishing and Radiance Enhancing Sleeping Mask. So I did only use this at night. I've really been liking Vichy products. I did like a whole haul of Vichy after I tried some of their stuff. And so I wanted to explore the line more. And this was one of the things I picked up. I think Ulta was doing like a 40% off Vichy. And I tried just like getting a bunch of different things to see what I liked the most. And this I actually like the least. The one right now that's on my list to repurchase is like the Lift Active, I think it's called. It's more of like their anti-aging moisturizer. This was okay. I wouldn't like discourage anyone from purchasing it if it's your holy grail. But for me, it didn't really do anything extra special. It kind of felt a little bit thick instead of hydrating. Like it didn't sink into my skin right away. It kind of felt really heavy on my skin, which is weird because it is more of like a gel moisturizer. So there's just some factors. It was just, you know, only 85% there. It wasn't a home run. And then some other things, I just have another of my KL Polish hand creams. I use this all over the body. I've spoken about this in empties before, but I bought a ton of these for like $2 when KL Polish was going out of business. I'm just trying to get through my stash of them. So I have another one gone. And then I have this box. This is the Skyn Iceland Hydro Cool Firming Eye Gels. This had 4 pairs of the under eye patches. I brought these on my trip as well because they're not in a container. They're dry. They're easier to use. You know, the ones that come in the tubs, they just are usually ultra liquidy. These are dry when you put them on. So I brought those over for like days that I had like big events. I was going for a family reunion type thing. So there was a lot of events I wanted to look a little bit more put together, and I finished off this packet. So that's all my empties. I mean, like I said, it was a pretty small month for me. I usually have a lot more, and I have so many things that are just like on the edge of being completely finished, but I couldn't delay this video any longer. It's going up, and you'll just have to wait and see what I finish up next month. I am a little bit happy though that my empties was so small, because my purchases are definitely more of a haul. So let's just get started with that. Now, I started talking about my purchases in my empties video only because I had started a low buy at the beginning of the year. If you're new to my channel, I was never really on a no buy, low buy, whatever you want to call it. And it was my first time trying it. So I said that I would do it for a quarter up until the end of April and see how it went for me and adjust till then. So my last empties, I talked about how, you know, I feel like I'm in a better spot. I really mostly wanted to curb down the impulsiveness of my shopping, less of like bringing less in. I mean, that's always the goal. But for me personally, like the top reason was my impulsiveness when it came to shopping. So January, February, March, April, I did pretty good. I'll put up the rules that I had for myself. Essentially, I could do 3 purchases a month, 1 in each category of complexion, eyes, and base. And then those purchases didn't roll over. So I knew coming up in May that I was probably going to want to purchase a lot more, being that I was going to America. So here's my bag. I just kind of want to show you. So I can set it down here while I keep talking. There's a lot of products that I can't purchase here in France, which is where I live, and I wanted to take advantage of maybe not having to pay for customs. So I did go into this knowing that May was probably not going to follow my rules. And there was no point in beating myself up on trying to follow the rules if I just knew I wasn't going to do it. And I've decided to go forward. I'm actually going to lift the rules altogether. And I kind of just want to see what this next quarter holds for me, including May. So May, June, July, and August. I just want to see how, that's not a quarter, is it? That's 4 months. I'm bad at math. The next third of the year, I want to just see how my shopping's improved. I still want to go into these following months just having a better idea of what I'm purchasing and bringing into my collection, but I'm going to have no rules and just see how I've improved. I hope that makes sense. But enough of like the boring stuff. Let's just like talk about all the things I picked up on my America trip. I feel pretty good actually about what I got. I don't think it was like an excessive amount. There's definitely a lot in here, but I really tried to pick and choose what I could purchase in America that I can't get here, instead of getting things that were on my wish list that I could just as easily get here. So let me get started. The first thing that couldn't fit in this bag is this palette here. So this is the Adept Cosmetics with Amylovesmakeup, the collaboration with her. I saw this and I instantly knew that I had to have it. It's just like sparkly, cool tone goodness. I love the outer packaging here. And I think she just knocked it out of the park with this palette. I had even recently talked, here's what it looks like. And you can expect videos coming up on all of this stuff here. I had recently talked about in a video how I didn't necessarily love Adept. I wasn't seeing the hype that everyone else was seeing. And the next time a palette came out that really spoke to me, I would get it. And it ended up being this palette. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. So I'm going to give them another shot, see how I feel about them. But, you know, the color story is just so pretty. Like I said, I think she knocked it out of the park with this, so I'm really excited about this. And then the next, let's see, stuff I got. This is also indie, so I'll pull this out. I had been wanting this for a while. This is the Wicked Widow Lovesick palette. This is my first time trying Wicked Widow, so I'm really excited about this one. It's kind of like just a neutral pinky color story, and I thought that it was really cute. I've been wanting to try Wicked Widow, so I did decide to get this. And the last, let's see, the last indie palette that I got is in here somewhere, is the Terra Moons palette. I tried holding off on this. This one, they came out with 2 palettes in this collection of 6 pans, and I got the more cool tone purple one. There's one, here's what this one looks like. So there's one that has like blues and yellows, like it's more beachy vibe. This one was definitely calling to me. The shifts just look so stunning. This was like an expensive palette, but I really lusted over this for a few months before purchasing it. This is the Lovers on the Sun. It's right here on the cover. I just didn't see it. So those are my indie purchases. After that, let's talk about Colourpop. I'm going to take this all out because Colourpop was probably the biggest. And this was probably also the most unnecessary purchase that I made, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. So I purchased some of the cream gel liners because I didn't have any colored liners. They did like some kind of sale on them. I decided to pick some up. I feel kind of, how many did I get? 3, 6, 7. I got 7 different ones. So like a blue, 2 blues. I don't know what this one is. Pink, a purple. I think I got a nude, a light pink, and a light purple. So I try to get some colors that really were unique that I knew I would do eye looks on, not just every color of the rainbow, but we'll see if I actually use them. For a while, I just didn't see the purpose of doing like a colored liner on your like lower waterline, but I see so many people doing it that I just wanted to be part of the cool club, if I'm being honest. So I picked them up. That was kind of unnecessary, but I don't regret it. I also ended up getting the Twilight palette. I talked about this in a different video. I don't remember which one, but I'm not a huge Twilight fan. I just thought this palette was pretty though. I think the shades are really well done for the movie. I mean, of course I've seen it. I'm not just like a super fan, but I think it's really well done and a palette that really called to me from Colourpop. So I decided to pick it up once it restocked. I wasn't going to be fighting people for this palette. It really just like the craze was crazy for it. And then the rest of Colourpop, I got 2 other things. I just have stuff everywhere now. I did get the free Super Shock shadow that they were doing a promo with, that if you made a purchase, you got their 10-year anniversary Super Shock. So I did get that. That was free. And then I got one of the heart blushes because this has been on my list for a while. Last time I made an order, I completely forgot to order it. So I finally picked it up and now like I'm good on Colourpop for quite some time now. This is the shade Flirt Alert. And it's one of their pressed powder blushes. I know they just came out with the cream version, but I did not want that. And this was really purely a packaging purchase. So Colourpop was the one that maybe like I shouldn't have gotten because I can send it here, but I saved myself customs, etc. So I'm okay with it. Then let's go over the foundations I purchased because I purchased 3. I like to do foundation reviews. These ones have been on my list for a while. So the Wet n Wild, this new one, this is the Niacinamide Skin Tint with 5% niacinamide. I will be doing wear tests on all of these foundations coming up here. So I think for this Wet n Wild one, I want to kind of compare this to the Photo Focus line and just see how it compares the differences and maybe do like a cumulative video just breaking down all the Wet n Wild foundations. But I'm really excited about that. And then on the complete other end of the spectrum, I picked up the Dolce Gabbana. This is the Blueberry Nutri Tint. This is their skin tint, their first skin tint, I think. I picked up the shade 7N. Really excited for this too. I don't know what it is about this, but it like really called to me on all of the claims. Plus the bottle is like so pretty. I picked up the Dolce Gabbana highlighter over holiday. And that's a really, really nice highlighter. I kind of really enjoy their makeup stuff. So I picked up the foundation. We're gonna see. I wanted to pick up the bronzer and a blush, but that I held off on. And then the last foundation I picked up is the About Face. This is the Performer. I picked up light medium 2 neutral. I wanted light medium 1 neutral, but they were sold out at Ulta, so I went with this one. We're gonna see how it goes, but I've only heard great things, and About Face isn't sold in France. It's only in America that I know of, maybe Canada. But that's why this was on my list to get, and I'm super, super excited to try this, do a wear test. It's not the newest foundation, but it is definitely one I just keep hearing about. I haven't tried About Face, so I ended up getting this. And then that was kind of like my Ulta haul. I picked up a few other things from Ulta. I finally picked up one of these. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. I have never ever tried one of these. It kind of felt like a cult classic product that I was missing out on. So I decided to pick it up now that I'm kind of getting into eyeshadow more and doing more eyeshadow looks with color. So I think that this will come in handy. And then I picked up 2 things from Half Magic. So Half Magic is also not sold in France that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm just missing it. I picked up the Cheek Fluff. This is the Soft Blur Blush. So it's like a cream blush. I picked up the shade Don't Be a Doll. I saw the display in Ulta, and this cream blush just felt really interesting. Very powdery, but also a cream. I don't know. I haven't felt a cream blush like this in a while. It is very fluffy. It's just weird. So I'm really excited about this and to try Half Magic. And then I could not resist one of the single shadows. This is in Blushing Lizard. I mean, it's just the sparkle. The sparkle got me, and I couldn't say no. That's what Blushing Lizard looks like. Let me do a swatch of it. And again, like really just soft. Has like a translucent base with like purple, blue shimmer. It's going to be really, really pretty. I'm super excited for this. The packaging, you know, I've heard people talk about the packaging, was kind of what I expected it to be with the cardboard type, but almost not. It's hard to explain. It's like an egg carton type of material. I like the idea, but I don't know if I like it actually. I'm still, it's up for debate if I like the packaging or not. I don't hate it, but I have some thoughts. And then we're almost done. Also at Ulta, this was like an impulse purchase, if I'm being honest. This is the Lancome Idol Tint Liquid Eye Blusher. I got the shade 06 Canyon Clay. I don't know why. I swatched this and I really liked it. So I decided to get it. It's like I'm assuming it can be used as an eye shadow or a blush. Okay, no, it's just a blusher because of the tones. Sorry, because it doesn't make sense this would be used as a blush. It dries down very fast. So I don't know. I don't have anything like this. I thought it would be kind of cool as like an eye base. And here's what it looked like. So you can really spread it around, but it dries down super quick. And it also just like does not move. I was debating between this and the About Face paints, like the eye paints, but those are more like colorful, and this is definitely like more up my alley. I'm interested to see like what I think of this. So that was everything that I got at Ulta. And then the very, very last shop that I stopped at, which ended up kind of just being by coincidence, is the cosmetic company. So I've heard all these things about how the cosmetic company is so great. You can get stuff on such a big discount. And my sister and I, we wanted to go shopping. Someone recommended an outlet mall that was like 45 minutes away. She had never been there. She's only been living in Louisiana for a year or so now. So we decided to go, and they had a cosmetic company. So I was over the mood. I was instantly like, if they have the Tom Ford quads that I want, I'm picking those up. Now is my time. And they did. So I got them. And this was the only purchase I didn't, pass by my husband first. I kind of was like, I'm gonna let him discover that later. Luckily, I'm joking a little bit, like obviously he wasn't going to get upset, but normally like a bigger purchase, I would kind of pass through him like, hey, do you mind? And he'd be like, yeah, no problem. And this one, I was like, I'm not going to ask for permission first. I'm just going to ask for forgiveness later. So I picked up the 3 that have been on my wish list. I was so happy that they had them. So the first one that I have is Forbidden Pink. And I'm going to open these up for you. So here is what Forbidden Pink looks like. And these are not, you know, fantastic, the greatest indie color story you've ever seen, but they're really pretty neutrals. This is like their cream formula, which is why it doesn't have the TF embossed. It's not the really kind of lackluster shadows that Tom Ford can have. They have their wet dry formula, their cream formula, and then just kind of like their average formula. So this is their cream formula. I also picked up Honeymoon, and they had Honeymoon in their Valentine's Love collection. So I figured I've been wanting Honeymoon for a while. I might as well get it in like the really cool packaging. Honeymoon is not a new color story whatsoever. Just the packaging was kind of unique. So I got this one. And then the last one that I really wanted, that I've almost purchased a couple of times now, was the Creme Smoky Quartz. I have been wanting that one since Teresa's dead. She's mentioned it in a few of her videos, like multiple videos. She's talked about how it's her favorite Tom Ford palette. She never goes anywhere without it. It is the cream formula. So they had that one. I didn't think they would have this one, to be quite honest, but I picked that one up. So here's what Smoky Quartz looks like. And I got all of these for 50% off. So I was really happy about that. 50% off, like probably still more than I really wanted to spend on a Tom Ford quad, but I decided that it was still worth it for me. So I am very happy to be like trying all of these out. I will probably do maybe like a get ready with me with some of these that aren't necessarily as new, and talking about like my trips that I went on and all that stuff, like a chatty get ready with me. Let me know down below if that would interest you, but that's kind of what I'm thinking that I'll do. And then with the cosmetic company, they kind of do like a lot of gift with purchases. So I got this palette for free. I'm showing it to you, but it's the Too Faced The Natural Nude. They basically had all of their Too Faced palettes that you could get for free if you spent a certain amount. I picked this one. Originally, I asked my sister, like, is there one that reaches out, like speaks to you? You can have my free palette, but she doesn't wear a lot of makeup, so she didn't really want the free palette, which is crazy to me. So I ended up going with the Natural Nude. I actually have had this palette in the past, and then I decluttered it. So we'll see. Like, this is not new whatsoever, but I didn't want the pumpkin spice. I didn't want any of like the little mini ones. So I went with this one because it was the most neutral. I figured I can probably find someone who wants it here. So that's what I went with. And then I also got like a ton of free skincare. Like I got 2 giant bottles of the Clinique moisturizer, but that I gave to my sister-in-law and my sister. I didn't want to bring that back. But the cosmetic company, I can say, is definitely worth it if you like stop in and know what you want beforehand. They have really great brands and really good prices. I think my sister picked up like some skincare from Origins at 60% off or something like that. So we both had a really great time shopping, and that is everything that I picked up in Louisiana while I was there for 3 weeks. Like I said, like I definitely spent some money, especially with the Tom Ford quads. The Tom Ford quads were last, by the way. This was not something on my list. The rest of the stuff was kind of on my list. So I was happy with that. The Tom Ford was like a happy surprise. And then the Colourpop was kind of like my impulse. But I don't feel like I did too bad. A lot of these things were things that I had thought about. I knew I had wanted this About Face foundation for a while now. People have been talking about it. I've been wanting to try it. The Half Magic stuff, like that's been on my list. I don't think I went overboard, and that's what I'm looking for is, you know, it's okay to like bring things into my collection, but for me, it's like, did I put some thought behind it? Did I make intentional purchases and not just like 4 a.m. impulse shopping purchases. That's what I'm trying to improve on. So those are all my empties, all of my purchases for the month of May. I would love to hear your thoughts down below on me stopping my low buy, what you think, what's worked for you. Everyone's different, and I just like hearing what works for you as far as like curbing your spending, because I always find it interesting, and a lot of times you guys give me thoughts that maybe I haven't thought about. So let me know, but this is where I'm gonna leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.